energetic hygiene for light workers and shadow workers. A lot of y'all are here to activate different levels of consciousness on the planet right now, but not all of y'all are here to do that through light work. Some of y'all are really here to support with processing the collective shadow. And that means having a different version of psychic defense that you incorporate into your daily reality to ensure that you have the energetic field restored in order to thrive on this planet. Because right now we do live in a closed loop system. This is changing and we're connecting more and more to open source energy, especially as we reclaim and retrieve our energy from all of the false institutions of the false matrix simulation. But at the same time, there's going to be moments where you are going to be tested in this simulation. And a lot of beings have thrived off of your energy. They've thrived off of energy harvesting off of you. They've thrived off of making you feel bad. And, the more bad or poorly you feel about yourself, the more you can be extracted from. Okay. And this is known as something called archonic interference. A lot of the people or the beings in your reality who are pushing certain buttons maybe suffer from like narcissistic personality disorder. Maybe you have issues related to groupthink. Maybe you're getting out of a weird cult, like some really weird stuff. If you are a light or a shadow worker, you're dealing with that kind of stuff in your reality because you're here to break the norm. So things are not going to necessarily always be easy for you. So there are going to be these beings that come into your realm and they're going to try to mess with you. Okay. And, we've been taught to stay in the light, to stay positive, to stay Christ-like, to be like Christ, right? That's even very rife within this reality hologram. But here's the thing. You are actually here to be a polarity integrator, because a lot of the binary thinking, a lot of the this or that, black or white, that kind of thinking keeps us trapped within the simulation. So there is a thing called self-defense. At some point you do need to defend yourself, and you can't just be the punching bag of people or beings in your reality who will love to feed off of your energy. And so sometimes the issue or the solution becomes energetic vampirism. Now, I know when I first heard about this, I was very against it. I was very polarized in my thinking. And I thought, if I'm going to be a vampire off of somebody's energy, that must mean I'm less than, I'm weaker, etc., etc. We have a lot of falsehoods within this false matrix hologram. And so we're dealing with a lot of ego filters. We're dealing with a lot of false perceptions of self. We're dealing with a lot of mind control programs. So a lot of that needs to be cut through. A lot of the BS is here to be cut through. You might find that you're already unconsciously vampirizing off of people's energy. And what I mean when I say that is you might be bringing up their shadow aspects of self to the surface for them to process and heal from. And a lot of times their shadow, in order to do that, will show themselves right in your reality. So if you don't do something to defend yourself from this, you'll just find yourself constantly facing attacks. Weird stuff will happen to you. But if you set the intention and set up your energy field, this is not light work. This is a balance of light and shadow work, because you're here to be a polarity integrator. This message isn't for everyone, but for the folks who have been on this path, who are energy workers and are realizing that they need to switch up their energetic toolkits, I'm talking to you. Embody polarity integration within your energetic field. And so what that means is you reflect the light. This isn't just to say that you go on the dark side. No, but you realize there is no dark or light side. That's been a part of the game of the simulation. That's why they always keep us against each other. Okay, because that's a part of the energy harvesting technique. So what you can do to restore your energy, because your energy is getting vampirized off of quite often within this simulation, okay, because it's been set up that way. As the architecture of the false matrix simulation deteriorates, one way to retrieve your power is to retrieve your energy that's been put up in any false institution, any false belief. Retrieve that energy, clear that energy through what is known as the 0-point field. If you want to learn more about this is tapping into a galactic energy, remembering your connection to source, and doing that through what is known as the 0-point field. You need to become 0 point. 0 is neither positive or negative. It's 0. It's source connection. You can look at the 0 and it can represent the beginning. It can also represent the end. So in order to get out of the closed loop system and to channel energy from elsewhere, return back to 0. And what you can do, what a lot of y'all are doing anyway, but it's probably time to become more conscious of it so you can wield the energy better, is you are basically coming up to disrupt the algorithm of the simulation. So you can enact the 0-point field. If you're somebody who's identified as an empath, right? And being in crowds has been really difficult for you, and you always feel like you need to protect your energy to be outside. That's kind of like not a way to live, and you're just going to want to hide. But a lot of times you're meant to be out in the world. You're meant to be making an impact. And yeah, you don't have to be out and about to do that, but you also don't want to be debilitated while you're in this simulation and it's crumbling. So what you can do is you can set up the intention, since you are going to be going out into spaces where you'll be vamped off of, okay, because of the way the closed loop system works. But what you can do to restore your energetic field through 0 point, through polarity integration, through integrating the positive and the negative. And vampirism is a very negative energy. It's a very dark energy. So what you can do is you can set your energetic field up to ensure that you are clearing out any artificial constructs, any artificial beliefs. Maybe that's even just different, like low vibrational emotions. And you can set yourself up to be like a galactic vacuum and clear those energies from your field, because those projections are going to be placed in your field anyway. But you can also set an intention to clear that energy from other people's fields and embody the 0 point and compost that energy. Energy can be utilized. It can be composted. It can be alchemized. Just think about when you compost a banana peel. You can turn that into another kind of energy. This is us returning to goddess consciousness, God or goddess consciousness. It's a different way of looking at things. Like, this goes beyond being a light worker, and this is being more of a polarity integrator. And if you're interested in tools to support you with this path, click on the links in my bio.